Hi everyone, my name is Lawrence Mann, freelance illustrator, Corel master painter, and overall concept artist. Today we're looking at the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 and Sketchable 3.0. Now this is still in beta testing and I'm taking a look at this. There are still a few tiny bugs to be worked out, but obviously this is beta testing and it's still pre-release. Now the video that you're watching is slightly sped up a touch. Actually it's not sped up that much, but I am working quite fast, as you can see anyway. But this is just a kind of a sketch, really. When I first started out in this, I am recording the voiceover afterwards anyway. But when I first started out in this, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to be working on. So it was kind of a matter of, is it just going to be a really rough sketch? Was I only going to take it kind of this far, as you can see right now, or was I going to do a complete illustration? It was just a matter of doodling and seeing how far it goes, how good it looks. I'm really just testing the software at this stage. So I thought, I'd just throw myself in. In my journal, which is kind of how you save your illustrations in Sketchable, I've got a lot of artwork which is just really rough, rubbish sketches, and some really, finished pieces as well. Because obviously, being a beta tester and helping the guys at Sketchable, I'm obviously doing some really rough pieces. So, it's just a matter of I don't work like I normally work when I'm working on pieces for clients or just doodles for myself. So yeah. Okay. As you can see here, this isn't looking too bad, and I've got a bit of an idea for what I want to do. I'm going to draw a girl in a space helmet. Maybe something a little retro. So I'm going to do their big kind of old-fashioned orbital helmet. Mainly just working in black and whites. I don't know why with Sketchable I feel like I should be doing sketches. Something a bit more sketchy. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. I find that my style changes from platform to platform, application to application. My illustrations in Photoshop look a bit more different to how they look in Painter, and how they look in Sketchable, and how they look in, everything else. So I don't know why. Obviously it's gonna depend on different brushes and just the feel of the application, as you'd expect. But yeah, the great thing about Sketchable is it does have an amazing range of brushes and editability of those brushes. As you can see here, it's got a smudge tool, which at first glance you think, yeah, okay, it's just an application. It's not Photoshop or Painter. But for an application, for a Windows Store application, it does have an amazing range of brushes. It's not just one a piece, as you can see at the bottom. Each brush has an amazing range of editability. So, and each of those you can save 4 brushes a piece. There's an eraser, paintbrush, airbrush, pencil, marker, pencil, calligraphy, pen, chalk, and the blender. And you can save 4 options a piece, and each one is obviously completely editable. So yeah, and there's it just goes on, and I found they're as editable as Painter, probably more so than Photoshop brushes. So, and they're quick to edit the basic options, but you can go in deeper and deeper. So it's a small team that's actually developed this, but they're really really they really do care about what they're doing, and they really do push themselves. So I do talk to them quite a lot and help them develop and develop this software and tell them what I want to see as an artist, and they do listen. And I know they're talking to several different artists as well, so you know, it's good to see the fact that they really do listen to artists out there. So yeah, as you can see here, this is developing quite well. I'm having a little trouble with some of the features, not of the application, but I mean her facial features. She's looking quite ethnic here at this point, which I'm really liking. Her nose, I'm trying to use the blend tool on just to get a bit better of a shape, but I'm really liking that. Whoops, just slipping in and out of the application due to my big hands, my big clunky hands here, which is quite normal for me with a Surface Pro. But that's because I could have put it into tablet mode, which I haven't. Just play with the brushes here. Swipe up and down for size and side to side for opacity. I tend to use only a couple of the brushes, but I don't tend to go all over the place. But the colour picker is absolutely great. There's more than enough tools here for me. But again, in most applications I tend only to use a few tools at a time. I don't tend to use 1,000 million brushes, even in Painter or Photoshop. But there are more than enough options for people who like to jump around a lot. Whether you like to customize brush options like Painter users, or whether you want to use more stamp type brushes like Photoshop users, it has both options now in Sketchable's 3.0. There we go. And the colour wheel is exactly as you'd expect a colour wheel to work. There we go. And this is great that I'm just using black and white for now and doing my tones. It makes painting a lot faster, obviously. I know some people like to go straight to colour. Oops, sorry, my head's peeking in there. This is actually a new camera setup for me, shooting straight down. This is one of the reasons I'm doing this video, is to test my new setup. This is one of the only reasons I started actually doing this video, was to test my new camera setup. I've got a white desk already, but because I've had it for a number of years, it's got stains on it from various coffee cups, etc., that are permanent now, and scores from knives and Stanley knives. I'm not a kind of Crocodile Dundee kind of person, but one thing or another. So I'm using a big piece of white plastic cardboard as a background, and I have a large tripod set up half over my desk and half on the floor. I bought a large extended mount from eBay, which has come all the way from China. It cost £4, which is about $6 to $8, and it arrived amazingly fast as well. You know, it came all the way from China, and so don't think Donald Trump would like me for that. It came amazingly fast, and yeah, that helps me put the camera, and it's just a webcam. It's not a brilliant camera, but it's actually a Logitech camera that will shoot 1080p. But that helps me put the camera directly above the Surface Pro 4 here, so I can shoot straight down. Now the only trouble is, because it's quite a long way above the Surface Pro, I am accidentally putting my head underneath it now and again, just my large amount of hair, so apologies for that. Now I've kept the Surface Pro plugged in here as it's just a test. On more professional videos I won't do that, but the Surface Pro's battery life, while it's absolutely great, if this video is a bit longer than it actually is, if I'd have filmed something which was, you know, 2 and a bit hours, let's say, then I might have had battery warnings pop up, which I didn't want. Putting a bit of flare on here to make it obvious that there's actual glass there. That works really nicely. You notice I've put some rubber kind of ringing in there at the side of her head and her neck there. I'm just adding some slight detail there on the sides, and there we go. Just some white lines and some darker grey lines there, and obviously just pinching to zoom the canvas in and out and move it around. Sketchable has all the basic touch features, and I can even, there's a button just hanging off of the colour wheel there, you can see it looks like a hand, to work with palm rejection. Now a lot of applications don't have this, and it works absolutely great. So if you want to turn palm rejection on and off and just work with the pen, you know, if that's something that particularly bothers you, that's absolutely great. I personally forget about this all the time, and it really bothers me. So yeah, here I'm just adding a touch more detail. I'm just figuring out what I'm going to do here. Oops, there we go. Bit of an extra problem to sort out. Camera shutter there, just have to remember not to hit it so hard. Again, I'm just testing, seeing how it all works. There we go, and I've written that wrong. There we go. I'll just correct it. Good thing is that works out, so I know my spacing at least. Easy to correct. There we go. LM Surface 1. And I'll just colour pick a bit of the background as well, once I've just refined the letters here. Nice and easy. Now I've used 2 pieces of software to record this. I've used Camtasia on my MacBook Pro to record the top-down recording with my hands. Obviously my Logitech camera is plugged into my Mac, so I've used Camtasia to record that. I'm also using Camtasia to record my voice at the moment. And I'm using another piece of software called OSB, or OBS, sorry. OBS. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's not good at all. Just a frog in my throat. I'm using OBS, and I can't remember what that stands for all. I would look it up and re-record that section. However, I refuse to, because I'm using OBS to record the screen capture in the top left-hand corner that you can see. However, I found this software for the PC, for the Surface Pro 4, I found it useless. As you can see, the software, the OBS software, the screen capture software, while it's not strictly for screen capture, it's also used for streaming, for game streaming, for streaming of things like this. It is also meant for screen capture, the way I'm using it. It just couldn't keep up. You'll notice that it's not in time with the real-time video here with my hands in. It starts off in time, but no, it's for a lot of the video it falls out of time. It'll catch up now and again for a couple of seconds, and then it'll just fall out of time again. So yeah, the software OBS is pretty useless. So I won't bother going and finding out its full name, because there's no point in you knowing it, because it's useless. So yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. I've tried a couple other pieces of software. I tried Cam Studio, and it didn't seem to work on the Surface Pro. Maybe it was a graphics card problem. Maybe the two didn't work well together. However, I've been told that there's one called Camlight, maybe something like that. I will try and find out, and I will put that either in the comments below or the description below. If anybody knows, then please, if anybody knows of a video screen capture piece of software, please let me know in the comments below. That would be absolutely great if you could. I'm dying to find that piece of video software for the PC. I know you can get Camtasia for the PC. I have it for the Mac. I just kind of refuse to buy a second license for Camtasia for the Mac. It just seems wrong. Also, Camtasia for the PC and for the Mac isn't the greatest piece of software around. You know, it does crash quite a lot, and their support isn't the best. You know, they just kind of go, so what? And I've, given them suggestions before on Facebook, on Twitter, and they just kind of say, oh, can you fill in this really weird form on our forum, and it means you have to log in, and you just kind of go, no, can't you just do it? And they just go, no. So the suggestion just dies, basically, because you don't want to go on their forum and have to log in and fill out this. So because you won't go by their procedures, the whole thing dies. They're not customer orientated. They want you to do the work, which is bad. When guys like Sketchable kind of go out of their way to make their program better, guys like Camtasia don't really care. Going back to the piece of artwork here, the Surface Pro 4 I found to be absolutely cracking to work on. As you can see, it's really, really keeping up with me. This is a pretty simple illustration. Sketchable is a really nice and simple app, even though it's jammed full of features. It's got layers. It's got really nice layer features, as you can see. Now the layers do have layer effects such as multiply, screen, everything you'd expect. I think it's got more layer effects than Photoshop and Painter. The guys have kind of had a look at what Photoshop have got and what Painter have got, and they've asked people what layer effects they want, and people have kind of said we want all of those. So yeah, they've added all of those and a few more. So you've got an absolutely giant list of layer effects, and obviously you can change the opacity one thing and another. So yeah, you've got absolutely loads. You can see how easy it is to change the opacity. If there was a way of adding hotkeys to the Surface Pro, then it would be even easier. I know you can get some on-screen keys for the Surface Pro, that would certainly make life easier. There's also a device I've seen called the Meta, which adds express keys, hotkeys, to the side using a case. That'd be pretty cool. Here you can see I'm using a masking tool, and I'm just quickly going to use a couple of shades here. The masking tool. I'm going to use this brush here. There we go. Kind of a soft edge brush. And again, because I'm just using tones, this is going to be super quick. Just change the size. Use a couple of different tones. And go undo a few times. There we go. This is looking good. Then keep playing with this. Now this is really quick, and you can see what I'm creating here, obviously. Nice and simple. There we go. We've made a moon. And because I kept it all soft edged, there you go. Nice and simple. There we go. We've got a moon. I think in Photoshop I'd probably done that with a hard edge brush and then use Gaussian blur. But I don't need to. With this. So easy to play with the brushes. There we go. That looks absolutely great. I'm just having a problem with the layers here, but again, this is in beta, and I'll just make a remark to the guys. In fact, they'll be able to watch this video as well. We're very close to the release of this. I won't mention the date that I know, because it might be pushed back by a few days. And if it is, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. There we go. You can't see the brush stroke in the preview here just because I'm using a super light colour. If I change a colour here, there you go, you can see the stroke. So I'm going to start to colour this now, and I'm just going to lay down. Oops, there we go, I went to the side so you could see the Surface Pro 4's side menu. So I'm just laying down a flat tone. There are a couple of other ways to do this. I'll just try and find a good skin tone. My hair's creeping in the bottom corner there. Again, I have to do something about that for the next time I do a top-down view video. There we go. So next thing is just maybe that's good. Again, I'm experimenting on all fronts. The software that I'm using for the screen capture, the top-down video. Yep, I have to keep the hair under control. I don't know if my actual head's creeping into the video. I don't think it is, but I think my hair is. My large hair. The tablet itself has actually done a good job of staying fairly still. I'm used to actually drawing with the tablet on my lap rather than having the tablet on a desk. It feels kind of alien to me. I'm used to having the tablet on my lap and having one arm behind my tablet, behind my Surface Pro 4, and I'm used to having the controls flipped, because in Sketchable there's actually a setting so you can flip the UI. You can flip it so all the tools that are on the left are on the right, and all the controls or all the colours are on the right rather than the left. It just makes it a bit more left hand friendly, you know. So people like me just find it a bit easier to hit the, you know, hit the layers palette, etc, which is absolutely great, and I'm more used to that setup. But because I'm showing this video for you, I've left it on the right hand setup. Again, just having a bit of a problem with those layers. This will all be sorted out by the time that Sketchable 3.0 ships for you. you know, that would be absolutely great. But for me right now, you know, I'm just having a few beta issues. Those will all be solved for you, of course. There we go. I just need to play with that. All that's happening is that every time I add a new layer, the opacities of the layers I've created, when I've changed an opacity or a layer effect, when I create a new layer, things are just being reset. Oops, I don't know what happened there. Okay, that's it, that's done. Right, I'll just flatten everything so I don't keep getting that problem. There we go. Now I can just happily keep on drawing again. I just want to keep on working. This is a nice image. I'm happy with this so far. I know how it turns out anyway. You know, I've seen the finished piece already because I'm recording this voiceover afterwards. The blender tool is absolutely cracking for this. Move your head. There we go. I would normally edit this video a bit more, you know, try and get the bits from my head in the way, edit those out. All the little tuts in my voices I'd normally edit out. If you watch my other videos, you'll notice they're a bit finer edited than this. You know, obviously the bit where I broke down with my voice and started coughing, and you heard me drinking a bit of my coffee there. Normally I edit those bits out, but because this video is all about me beta testing software, I'm just going to leave this one nice and loose. You know, you can see me having problems with the software. I think that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to leave this video a bit more rough and ready. I don't think there's any problem with that. We all know there are problems when you're recording a video. Now let's just leave it and have a bit of fun, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. I think if anyone's watching this who records videos as well, or is looking to record videos in the future, you see for yourself that, you know, these problems arise. You can edit those out, but does it really stop anyone's enjoyment of watching something like this? I think that people, honestly, anybody who's interested in art, anybody out there looking to watch tutorials is probably comforted by the fact that videos that are a bit more finely polished are probably a bit more worrying, whereas videos that are a bit more rough and ready probably, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is a question. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are they... Does it help if they're a bit more rough and ready, or do you prefer something that is a bit more finely tuned? Let me know what you think, you know. Is it okay to be a bit more rough and ready, or do you want it to be all a bit more Hollywood? You know, do you mind me coughing, or do you want me to spend the extra time? Okay. Again, a bit more trouble with the layers palette, but I can guarantee you that Sketchable 3 will have this problem worked out. In fact, I've uploaded a video to the Sketchable guys already. I did that as soon as I finished the artwork and recording the screen capture, so they already know about that. You can see that the screen capture in the top left hand corner has already disappeared. The screen capture software let me down and stopped recording, but you can see on screen that no warning popped up there, so I had absolutely no idea. So that OBS screen capture software, whatever it was called, I don't know what OBS stood for. I've said its name far too much now. Got to stop saying that because I don't want you going looking for it thinking it might, you know. Yeah, it didn't pop up, didn't tell me it stopped recording. Really let me down there. but you can still see what's going on. There we go. Yeah, so I was really disappointed with that. You know, what if that would have stopped recording 2 minutes in? Luckily, we're pretty much almost done now. You know, we have about 3 minutes more of this before we're finished. So hang on in there and you'll get to see the finished result. You know, for me, this is looking good. There we go. Just that's the final bit of the shape of the nose. Just add it in. There we go. And the eye as well. I just want to trim that in there. I'm happy with that. I've made her face a little more cartoon-like, which I actually like. I don't want her to look too realistic. I could make her more realistic by actually scaling down the nose or scaling up the lower portion of the face. I think maybe her forehead looks a little large here. I could add a little more hair there, looking back. But what I generally do on a finished piece of art is leave it for an entire day, come back to it, or leave it for a couple of days, come back to it. I normally at the end of the day as well write a list of bullet points. Oops, that side menu from the Surface Pro coming in again. You can turn that off in the Surface Pro 4 menu as well. I believe you could do that in the Surface Pro 3 as well, from what I remember. Having had a Surface Pro 3. Now the Surface Pro 4 is faster, a bit smoother in the system as well. But I had the Windows 10 operating system on both, and I will say that the Surface Pro 4 is it's very nice. There we go, all flattened, and I've just created a new layer so I can just use the chalk brush here. This is the first time you see me use the chalk brush to just add on some detail around the little starburst that she's found. I'm also going to try and add on some grain here, but I'm going to undo that, and I'm just going to actually add it on to a different layer. There we go. The reason I want to do that is just to dirty up the spacesuit. In a way, it's like Star Wars making things a bit more real and a bit more lived in, I think is the term that Star Wars used. That lived in universe. I'm just using the brush tool now, but I could have used the pencil tool as well. The basic pencil tool that comes as standard, to add on some scratches to the spacesuit. There we go. Just add a bit more chalk and try and find another layer blend mode, layer effect, as I keep calling it, just to find something a bit more perfect. Now I'm just going to use the brush tool just to delete a bit, and the eraser tool to delete a bit, just so you could see the LM Surface 1. There we go, flatten it all, and that's pretty much done. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm pretty much happy with that. So the only thing left to do is add new layer. Yep. And sign it. Man, my signature looks the same on pretty much everything. And that's it. I'm happy with that. I'll hide the UI. The pen, of course, is magnetic. And there we go. I'm done. That's pretty short, and that took me just over half an hour. There you go. That's it. All finished. I'm happy with that. I hope you are too. And I hope that showed you exactly what the Surface Pro 4 and Sketchable 3.0 could do. Obviously all those bugs will be worked out in the finished thing. So hopefully you join me for more videos, more tutorials, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Please check out my other videos.
Well, thanks for watching, and be sure to comment, like, and even subscribe to my channel, Lawrence Can Draw.